The sky above the floating city of Dracoria was dark and heavy with rain. Thick drops fell from the clouds, hitting metal rooftops and glowing streets. The city was known for its tall towers, floating bridges, and giant skyships shaped like dragons. These ships were the pride of the Draca people, an ancient race who looked like tall humans with shimmering scales, glowing eyes, and long tails that moved like ribbons of light. Among them lived a human named Quiethero, a quiet man with soft brown hair and tired eyes. He worked as a mechanic for the skyships. Every day, he cleaned engines, repaired wings, and checked fuel crystals. He was good at it, very good, even, but no one ever noticed. Humans were rare in Dracoria, and most people treated him like background, someone who fixed things and stayed out of the way. Kai didn't mind. Silence made life easier. He did his job, kept his head low, and spoke only when needed. But the one person who noticed him was someone he wished wouldn't: Empress Serafina Draca, ruler of the city. She was tall, powerful, and wise. Her scales shimmered like fire under sunlight. Her wings were large and bright red. She ruled with strength, fairness, and a kind heart. People bowed when she passed. Her presence alone made the air feel warmer. Kai always hid when she visited the hangars. He didn't think someone like her should see someone like him, plain, simple, and small. So he stayed behind engines and crates whenever her footsteps echoed across the hangar floor. One rainy evening, as lightning cracked across the sky, Kai sat behind the hangar alone. A small bowl of warm noodles rested in his hands. The rain dripped onto his hair and clothes, but he didn't move. He didn't hide from it. The cold water felt good, it washed away his thoughts for a moment. He lifted a bite of noodles and whispered to himself, "Just one quiet night, please." But quiet wasn't what he got. A shadow fell over him, large, winged, and glowing softly in the dark. "Quiethero," a calm, powerful voice asked. Kai froze. He looked up slowly. The Empress was standing in the rain. Her wings shielded him like a giant umbrella. Raindrops steamed when they hit her warm scales. She wore her royal armor, glowing red under the storm. Kai's heart almost jumped out of his chest. "Why, Your Majesty?" he stuttered, almost dropping his food. She looked at him closely, not with anger, but with a warm sadness. "Why are you eating here?" she asked softly. "Alone. In the rain." Kai swallowed. He didn't know how to answer. He tried to speak, but his voice broke. I'm okay. I just wanted quiet." But the Empress's eyes narrowed. "You wanted to hide." Kai looked down. She knelt beside him, an Empress kneeling beside a mechanic, and placed a gentle hand on the wet ground. "Kai," she said, "please tell me the truth." The rain fell harder, and something inside him broke a little. He whispered, "No one wants to sit with me." The Empress's face went still. Kai continued quietly, "Humans are rare here. People look at me like I'm wrong, like I don't belong." The Empress let out a slow breath, the steam rising from her lips in the cold air. "Who told you that?" she asked gently. "No one had to," Kai said. "People move away when I walk by. They talk about humans being weak. Some call me broken thing. And I don't ever want to cause trouble." The Empress's wings folded, and she looked hurt, but not hurt for herself. Hurt for him. "Kai," she said, "you should not suffer in silence." He tried to smile. "It's fine. I'm used to it." But when he said those words, something in her eyes changed. She saw the truth. He wasn't fine. He was lonely. He was hurting. And it broke her heart. Middle. Thunder shook the sky. The Empress stood and held out her hand. "Come with me." Kai's eyes widened. "Your Majesty, It is an order," she said, but her voice was soft. Kai hesitated, then took her hand. She pulled him up with surprising gentleness. Her wings opened wide, glowing bright red. With one strong movement, she lifted him into the sky. He screamed. She laughed lightly. "You are safe, Kai. Hold on." He did. Rain hit her wings and disappeared as steam. She flew smoothly, carrying him above the city. From up high, Dracoria looked like a field of fireflies, bright lights, floating towers, and glowing dragoncrafts moving in the air. "It's beautiful," Kai whispered. "You have lived here for years," she said gently. "Yet you have never seen it from above." Kai felt a squeeze in his heart. He always watched others fly. The Dracorians were born with wings. Humans were grounded. The Empress slowly lowered them onto a large balcony filled with warm lights and small fire crystals. This was her private resting place. Kai froze. "I can't be here." "You can," she said. "Tonight, you must." She led him inside a warm hall with red carpets and shining golden symbols. A table was set with hot food, warm tea, and glowing fruit. Servants bowed deeply as the Empress entered but froze when they saw Kai. Serafina raised a hand. "He is my guest. Treat him with respect." The servants lowered their heads in agreement. Kai felt his face burn with embarrassment. "Your Majesty, why me?" The Empress sat across from him and looked at him gently. "You work harder than anyone in my hangars," she said. "You repair ships with your hands, with no magic, no wings, no royal tools. You stay late, leave early, and never complain." Kai looked down. "It's just my job." "No," she said softly. "It is your heart." Kai felt something tighten in his chest. He wasn't used to praise. He wasn't used to being seen. The Empress leaned closer. "Kai, you are hurting. I could feel it when I found you in the rain." Kai swallowed hard. "I didn't want to bother anyone," he said. "I'm just tired of being alone." The Empress's voice broke slightly. "You are not alone." Kai blinked. "I feel like I am." "You should not," she said, her voice firm. "Not in my kingdom. Not in my home." Kai shook his head. "People will talk if I sit here, if I talk to you." "Then they will talk," Serafina said. "Let them." He looked up slowly. She wasn't joking. He saw something in her eyes, something warm, something protective, maybe something more. The Empress took a long breath. "Kai, let me tell you something I have never told anyone." He leaned forward, listening. "When I was young," she said, "I had no friends. Everyone feared the Empress to be. Everyone bowed, but no one spoke to me. They thought I was too strong, too royal, too different." Kai stared. "I felt isolated," she said softly. "Just like you." Lightning lit the room with pale white light. Kai whispered, "You? Lonely?" "Yes," she said. "Power does not stop loneliness." Kai didn't know what to say. The Empress stood and came closer. She reached out and gently brushed the rainwater from his hair. "You remind me of myself," she whispered. "Quiet. Kind. Carrying pain with a smile." Kai's breath caught. No one had ever touched him with kindness before. No one had ever cared. "I don't deserve this," he whispered. "You deserve more," she replied. Ending. Over the next weeks, everything changed. Every morning the Empress visited the hangars, not for inspections, but to talk to Kai. She brought him warm food, listened to his stories, and asked about his dreams. People stared. Many whispered. But when the Empress glared at anyone who spoke rudely, the whispers stopped. Slowly, Kai became known not as the human mechanic but as the Empress's chosen mechanic, then the Empress's friend. He still did his same work, but he no longer ate alone. He no longer hid in the rain. One day, the Empress called him to the palace gardens. The flowers glowed blue in the night. Small fire dragons flew gently above the trees. "Kai," she said, standing under a lantern tree. "I want to show you something." She opened a case. Inside was a pair of metal wings, crafted for humans, shaped with energy crystals, light yet strong. Kai gasped. "Are these for you?" she said warmly. "You always looked at the sky with longing. Now you can fly." Kai trembled. "Your Majesty, I can't accept this." "You must," she said softly, "because I made them myself." He looked at her with wide eyes. "You did." "I did," she said. "For the one person who sees me as more than an empress." She lifted the wings and gently attached them to his back. They hummed with warm energy. "Try," she encouraged. Kai stepped forward. The wings lifted him into the air, slowly, shakily, but they lifted. He laughed, a sound he had not heard from himself in years. The Empress smiled, her eyes glowing with happiness. "Kai," she said softly, "you deserve joy." He floated down and landed in front of her. Why are you doing all this for me?" he asked. "I'm just a mechanic. I'm not special." The Empress stepped closer until they were only inches apart. "You are special to me." Kai's heart thumped loudly. "I saw you," she continued, "alone in the rain, eating quietly, hiding your sadness. And I realized something." "What?" he whispered. She touched his cheek gently. "That your pain breaks my heart." Kai swallowed. His eyes warmed. "No one ever said that to me before. No one ever cared enough," she replied. He looked down. "Why do you care so much?" She leaned closer. "Because I choose to." Rain began to fall softly again, gentle, warm, washing the world clean. The Empress opened her wings and shielded him from the rain just like the first day. Only now, he didn't hide. He stepped closer to her. And for the first time, he didn't feel small. He felt seen, protected, wanted. She whispered, "Kai, never eat alone in the rain again. Not while I am Empress. Not while I am here." He smiled softly. "I won't." They stood together under her wings as the rain fell softly around them. The human who carried quiet pain. The dragon empress who carried a lonely heart. Two lives that had always felt apart. Now finally found each other. And neither would ever be alone again.